quadratic equation. Factorization method. Example 1. Using factorization method, find the value of x that satisfies the quadratic equation x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. In order to use factorization method to solve this quadratic equation, the first step to take is find the product of the constant with the first term. That is the product of this constant with this first term. That's the first step. So we'll find the product of the first term, that is minus 4 multiplied by x squared. That is minus 4 multiplied by x squared. Multiplied by x squared, and that is minus 4x squared. So the next step is to find the two factors whose product is minus 4x squared and whose sum is plus 3x. So we need two factors whose product is minus 4x squared and their sum is what? Minus plus 3x. So the possible factors are plus 4x and minus x. These are the two possible factors. So the next step is to replace the middle term in this quadratic equation with these two possible factors. That is replace this plus 3x with these two factors, which are, we have plus 4x minus x. So that is that. Then split these two factors into two. We have the first in this manner, and we have the second. So after that, look for the possible factors, the common factors in these first parts here, and that is x. The common factor is x. So when we factor out x, we have x, open bracket, s plus 4, and in this second part the common factor is minus 1. So we have minus 1 open bracket x plus 4, and that is equals to 0. So if you look at this, what we got here, we have here, you can see that s plus 4 is common here, s plus 4 is also common here, so I can also factor out s plus 4. So if you remove x plus 4 here, we are left with x, and if you remove x plus 4 here, we are left with what? Minus 1, and that is equals to 0. So we can say s plus 4 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. So we have x equals to minus 4, or x equals to 1. So these are the two factors, these are the two possible values of x that satisfy this quadratic equation. Formula method. Using quadratic formula, find the value of x in x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. The quadratic formula is s equals to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this is the quadratic formula. In order to use quadratic formula to solve any quadratic equation, we need to find our parameters. A represents the coefficient of x in the quadratic equation. So in this quadratic equation, the coefficient of x squared, that is x squared, the coefficient of x squared in this equation is 1. That is 1. B represent the coefficient of x, that is the middle term, and that is plus 3. And lastly, C represents our constant. In this quadratic equation, our constant is minus 4. So that is our constant. So that is the first step. The next step is to substitute all these values in this quadratic equation. So we have to substitute all these values in this quadratic equation. Anywhere we see b, we replace with what? With 3. This is b here, so we have multiplied by 3. We also have b here, multiplied by 3. We have a here, that's multiplied by 1. A is 1. And lastly, c is minus 4. That's minus 4. And this part we have a, and that is 1. So when we open the brackets, we have, so when we open the brackets, we have this place to be minus 3. 3 raised to power 2 is same thing as 9. That is 9. And minus 4 multiplied by 1 times minus 4 is same thing as plus 16. So this is same thing as plus 16. And the denominator we have same thing as 2. So that's the next step. So we have minus 3 plus or minus root 25 divided by 2. And that is minus 3 plus or minus 5 divided by 2. That is minus 3 plus 5 divided by 2, or minus 3 minus 5 divided by 2. So from here we have to split this into 2 to get the two possible values of x. So we have 2 divided by 2 or minus 8 divided by 2. So our final answer, x equals to 1 or minus 4. So these are the two possible values of x that satisfy this quadratic equation using formula method. So this is the quadratic formula: minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. The last method to examine is graphical method. Example: using graphical method, find the root of the equation y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 4 for values of x, which is from minus 5 to plus 5. So whenever we are given a quadratic equation and we are asked to use a graphical method, the first step to do is to draw up our table. So we are going to write the values of x. These are the values of x from minus 5 to plus 5. Then the next step is to write this quadratic equation, this quadratic expression, and split everything in this row. The first term is x squared, the second term is plus 3x, the constant is minus 4, and the simplification of all these will give us the value of y. So for x squared, which is the square of all the values of x, we have 25 here. When we square minus 5, that's 25, minus 4, that's 16, minus 3, that's 9, minus 2, that's 4, minus 1, that's 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. Plus 3x means the values of x multiplied by what? Plus 3. So when we multiply plus 3 by minus 5, we have minus 15. plus 3 times minus 4, that's minus 12, plus 3 times minus 2, that's minus 6, plus 3 times minus 1, that's minus 3. We have 0 here, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And this is our minus 4. This minus 4 is constant, so we have to repeat it throughout the whole table. So we have minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. To get the value of y, that is 25 minus 15 minus 4, that is 6. 16 minus 12 minus 4, that's 0. 9 minus 9 minus 4, that's 4. 4 minus 6 minus 4, that's minus 6. 1 minus 3 minus 4, that's minus 6. 0 plus 0 minus 4, that's minus 4. 1 plus 3 minus 4, that's 0. 4 plus 6 minus 4, that's 6. 9 plus 9 minus 4, that's 14. 16 plus 12 minus 4, that's 24. 25 plus 15 minus 4, that's 26, that's 36. So this is the first step to take. We draw up the tables of values for x and y. The next step is to plot the values of y against their respective values of x on the graph. So here we have the values of y to be 6 and the value of x is minus 5. This is a point here, this is a cardinal point here. You can see we have minus 5, minus 6. For minus 1, 0, this is it here. Y is minus 0, x is minus 4. So when you plot the values of x against their respective values of y, we have this curve. So to get the values of x that satisfy this equation, the root of the equation, you can see that this curve cuts this x-axis in these 2 points. This is the x-axis here, this straight line here, this horizontal axis, that's x-axis, while this vertical axis is the y-axis. It represents the values of y, this represents the values of x. So this curve cut this x-axis at these 2 points, this point here and this point. So the values of x at that particular point are the values of x that satisfy this equation. So when you place it here, the values of x is minus 4. Is on minus 4. Can you see that the coordinate is minus 4, 0? So the values of x, the value of x is minus 4 here, and in this case the values of x is what? Is 1. So the value of x is what? Is 1. So that is the value of x that satisfy the quadratic equation, and that is the root of the equation. So we have our values of x equals to 1 or minus 4. So that's the root of the equation. X is minus 1 or minus 4.